Do you have tight or weak hip flexors? If so, today's the day, because today I'm going to be talking about hip flexor strains, hip flexor tightness, hip flexor weakness. Now there's a differences between all three. If you don't know the differences are, I will tell you today. But today is all going to be about hip flexor pain. First one on the list is a prone hip flexor stretch. Now what does that look like? You're going to grab yourself a very stretchy resistance band. You're going to find yourself a bench and you're going to be laying on the bench on your stomach, hence the word prone. Prone, sorry, not prone. So what you're going to do with the band, you're going to put it around your leg, and then what you're going to do is you're going to grab the band with your hand. Now this is going to look a bit weird because I'm trying to do it on my own, but what you're going to do is put it around your ankles, and then what you're going to do is lay on the ground, and then with your hand here, you're going to pull it up so it pushes your leg towards your bum, stretching out your hips, prone. Now I'm really feeling this in the hips. Now you can back off to ease yourself, but for me, I like a little bit of pain so I can stretch it out and push more forward. And as soon as you push, it's going to drag your leg up and you're going to feel your hips really stretch here. A little bit of the quads as well, depending on where you're tight. But this is a really nice, simple stretch to get the hips activated, but also get the stretch really through the muscle and the joint. So really stretch it out. If you want to do a little bit of PNF stretching, a little bit of resistance, you're going to push your leg against it and then release, and then that goes in really deeper into the muscle as well. So prone hip flexor stretch, you want to do them on both sides for about 30 seconds, I'd say, 30 seconds of each, and then switch sides. 3 sets, 30 seconds. Number two, now the first one was prone hip flexor. This is supine hip flexor. So now I'm just laying on my back. That's what supine means. So this is going to be a hip flexor stretch. Now I might show you with this side, with the camera. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift your leg up, wrap your hand around the leg, push your hand into this knee, and then let this leg dangle and drop it down and let it stretch through the hips here. Now you will feel both hips in this one because you're feeling this one here, but you're also feeling the pinch in this one as you're pressing in. So like that, let it dangle and let it stretch through the front part of your hips. So the first one was prone when you're on your stomach. This is just on your back. Now let it dangle and let it stretch. Like so, and then you're going to let go, change hands, change legs, wrap your hand around the leg, and let the other side just dangle as well again. You will feel one side tighter than the other. Again, this one's a nice simple stretch. So I say 30 seconds 3 times. So 3 sets, 30 seconds each. Let them dangle and release. Third one, kneeling hip flexor stretch. Now, several ways people do this. This one is my favorite way. So down on one knee, one leg is up. Now, simple cues, but I like to sort of do different cues just to really get the depth into the knees. So first one is up tall, pressing forward with your hips, pushing the knees and the legs forward so you feel the stretch through the hips like this. Again, put your hand onto your other knee so you're driving forward and you really feel the stretch through this one. This one, again, same 3 sets, 30 seconds on each side. Really get into the stretch. Now, if I want to get deep into that stretch, the next double level to this one is the same thing, hips forward, knees, but then the next one is with your hands. Your hands come up as high as you can and really arch back. Now, when you're arching, it gets that extra centimeter, extra millimeter of your hip joint. So when you're standing up, hands in the air and you're leaning back, you really feel the stretch through your hips here. You're driving through the floor and then you release. So that gets really into the hip joint. 3 sets, 30 seconds on each side, switch sides, and then move on to the next. Those were 3 stretching exercises for your hip flexor. Now I'm going to give you 3 strengthening exercises because it's not just about stretching, you need to strengthen up the muscles that are also weak. So first one, find a bench, sit down both legs on the bench. Now I'm going to start with my left side so you can see it closer to the camera. Now, what you're going to do is hold on to the bench, and it's just simple leg raises. That's going to strengthen up the hip muscles. So what does that look like? Straight in the air. Squeeze your hips as hard as you can. This is for 10 seconds. So you want to do 3 sets, 10 seconds each side, then relax, lift up, squeeze. Now it looks very simple on camera, but doing this right, you really feel the muscle of the hips really contract, and that's how you're going to get them stronger. So if they are weak and they are tight, you want to stretch them, but there's going to be a point where you're going to need to strengthen them up. And this is my go-to for strengthening exercises. Now the next one is the same thing, sitting leg raises, just with an L different direction. So it's just trying to get more of an angle. So what does that look like? L variation, or standing L variation pretty much. So leg raises, standing L, leg raises L, blah, blah, blah. We can call it whatever we want really. So now grab onto the bench, lift one leg up, and then just like an L, you're going to go to the side. Open up the joint, come back, down. 3 sets of 10, up, out, back, down. So it's really working the joint, but when you're moving, it's working the full muscle, the full joint. It's opening up the hips as much as you can, and then down. Change leg raise, out to the side, up and down. Up, out, back, down. Simple. The last strengthening exercises is a standing knee raise. What does that look like? So you're standing up tall, you're going to lift one leg up, grab onto your knee, push your knee back up as high as you can, and then you'll really feel your hips, not your knees, your hips really stretch. So it's going to crunch here and then release. Again, change leg, press, 3 sets, maybe 10 seconds of each side. Really hold, squeeze as much as you can, and press. Now, if you're losing a little bit of balance, you might need to have a pole or a stick with you to sort of help you with your balance. So if you're going to do this, you can hold a stick to stretch. But strengthening your hips is a must, and these 3 exercises are really going to help you get to the next level. Those were my best exercises for hip flexor pain. Stretches and strengthening exercises. So if you combine the 2, your hips will be forever grateful. And you know the drill, everyone. If you love that video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share the love.